away from what the Astros had done. Nonetheless, I wanted to learn for myself and include it in my reporting. In what environment did this behavior arise? During batting practice before one of the Red Sox-Astros playoff games at Houston's Minute Maid Park in 2018, Houston's general manager, Jeff Luhnow, stood near the top step of the Astros dugout. He was the architect of the team, and I tried to get his attention as he was walking away from me. "You won't find anything," he said defensively, making clear he wouldn't talk to me. Luhnow quickly disappeared down the dugout steps into the tunnel, walking, ironically, right into the area where I had just learned the team had conducted its cheating. On the night the Red Sox won that series in Houston, eliminating the Astros, I shot my television spots on the dimly lit, empty field. The Astros dugout, on the first base side, was a short distance away. Down a few steps to the tunnel I went, to a short but wide corridor that leads to the locker room. I wanted to check out the scene of the prior year's crime for myself. There was the garbage can near to the wall on my right, and an empty space with wires hanging nearby indicated where a TV had once been, exactly as the setup had been described to me. I took a few photos, hoping someday one would accompany a story. The Red Sox had moved on to the World Series, where they faced the Los Angeles Dodgers. I met with a pair of MLB officials at Dodger Stadium, trying to understand what MLB was undertaking to combat electronic sign stealing. I told them I had multiple accounts of the Astros stealing signs via electronic means in the prior year. I think that every club is always suspicious, but again, one official said. I cut the official off. "This is from within the Astros." "Within the Astros, they're acknowledging that they've done this?" One shot back, surprised. "Yes." "They have acknowledged that?" one said. "I mean, I can't speak to that. I mean, to our knowledge, you have your information and we have ours, and that's all we can go off. As to whether that has occurred, to our knowledge, we are completely unaware. I am confident in the measures that we've taken." I was curious how seriously the league would treat the matter, and was told it would ultimately be up to Commissioner Rob Manfred. I wasn't contacting the league attempting to steer its own investigative work, to be a friendly tipster. Rather, were MLB looking deeper into the Astros' cheating, and I could ascertain as much, then I might have an entree to a story sooner rather than later. It was one of a handful of brief communications I had in 2018 with baseball's central office over what I understood had happened. If you can tell your sources that they should, if they want to speak to the commissioner's office, we're all ears, a different official told me once the World Series ended. The problem is, nobody talks to us. Of course, no such redirection would take place. It's not a reporter's job to steer sources to the league. But it was clear to me the league was not of a mind to act. As the off-season began, I was leery of publishing what I had learned about the Astros to that point. For one, none of my sources were on the record, and if the story was going to be based solely on unnamed sources, I wanted more than I had at the time. I also knew that finding someone to go on the record about cheating might be impossible, but I still wanted to see if that person was out there. I also considered how the story would be received, and, frankly, whether it would be believed. I was no longer in Houston, but covering a rival team in Boston. The Astros, I knew well, were aggressive with the media, and I suspected they would do everything in their power to attack me and my reporting. During my time covering the Astros, from late 2013 into 2016, they were a controversial franchise. I reported on questions about their management culture and decision-making with the support of my newspaper, the Houston Chronicle, which was the only outlet in the city that covered the team on the road and was not also owned by the team. The Astros had tried to bully me into submission. In 2015,